Oh, it says I'm live. I don't know. I don't trust it. You trust it, mommy? I don't trust it. Hello? Hello, everybody. Is this working? No, it's not working? Oh, jeez. This never works. What's up, Fred? Naomi, what up, dude? How you doing, man? You getting ready to prep for your game tonight? Sweet. I had a game today over lunch. It was my Wonder Panda campaign. They... Oh, stop picking my nose. Crap. Oh, I always screw that part up. What's up, Delta? How you going? How you doing, buddy? So for my Wonder Panda campaign today, they were some UNT approached them because they were traveling in the UNT's territory, and the group managed to convince the UNT that they were simply merchants traveling to trade with the UNT's like empire and stuff. And the UNT were like, oh, okay, cool. Here are some papers that'll allow you safe passage through our empire so you don't get like, you know, attacked and stuff like that. And they drew up some papers and stuff, and part of the papers were like, you know, you have safe passage all the way to the UNT capital, you know, whereupon you shall be fitted for slavery, basically, you know, because UNT are renowned slavers and stuff like that. So the players, it was about 45 minutes of like a diplomatic negotiations, social interaction. And then the players saw that and they were like, nope, not doing it. And then they just fought him and killed him. It was great. The Blunder Pandas? Yeah, something like that. What's up, Helsing? Stephanie, how's it going? This is my kind of tradition. Watch the stream every Friday before my session in the evening. Oh, that's awesome, Logan. Nice. Okay, so oh, the bot's always running. So I'm going to bet. Stephanie, you're grumpy? Why? What did Dan do? You let me know what Dan did and we'll figure out a suitable punishment for him. Oh, what's up, Roman? I bet you guys that my mom calls me in the middle of the stream tonight. Either here on YouTube or over on Twitch. I guarantee you my mom's gonna call me. It's like guaranteed to happen. Whoa, cat under my feet. Mommy. She's like right under my feet. How long have I been DMing? Well, I've been high since Dungeon Master school. I mean, I've been a Dungeon Master since high school. Oh, last night's game annoyed you? Oh, I'm sorry. Who was the Dungeon Master? Can you just blame it on the Dungeon Master? What's up, Philip? What's up, Ketchup? How you doing? Nixit, yo, Wonko, yo, what odds are you offering on that bet? I don't know. It's a pretty safe bet. I don't really know how odds and betting works, to be perfectly honest with you. Let's just say 5-1. I'm pretty confident that my mom's gonna call during the stream. We're gonna cut to the cat cam. My cat Noki decided to start playing with a toy. We can sit here for a while we're waiting to start the stream. Do I ever get tired of saying that? No, it's tradition. Now I have to say it. I can't not say that. That's like the channel's slogan, you know? Until we rebrand, until there is like a rebranding. So like, you know, companies will rebrand every 5 years or so, or something. Until there is the mandatory rebranding, then that's going to be the slogan. But at some point we have to rebrand, you know. What's up, Cosmos? How you doing? Dolphus, yo, yeah, it's a cat stream. Ace of Jace, what up, dude? Thanks for inspiring a lot of my adventures. Yeah, no problem, dude. I'm happy to help, dude. You bet 1 and she doesn't call, I get 5. Sure. if that's how that works. I don't know. I've never really bet in my life. I don't know how that stuff works. Salvo, what's up? Here's little girl. Little girl's on stream. Little girl. We're gonna have more and more cats coming on stream because they can hear me talking to myself. Whenever they hear me talking to myself, they know that something's going on and they start coming. Feel free to start seeding the questions too, and then I'll jump into the questions as soon as the stream actually begins. If your mom calls, order pasties. Oh, dude, Andrew, you have no idea. I'm so gonna order pasties if my mom calls. Holy crap. CMDR, yo, what up? Make sure you preface all your questions with all caps question mark, all caps question, hashtag all caps question, and then my lovely moderators will get your crap into a spreadsheet. Pat, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Yeah, Kickstarter went really well. We hit 95,000 on it, almost 100K. So very, very cool. Very happy how that went. It feels good for it to close though. So I can just now work on fulfillment. It's kind of a relief, actually, to be perfectly honest. What's up, Glad Cleric? How you doing, man? Still playing in a game, so only kind of slightly paying attention to this part of the stream. Don't get in trouble, dude. Don't get your character killed, man. They know treats are on the table. They might. They know that when I start talking to myself, eventually they get cat treats. Like it's like Pavlov's dogs or whatever. They've been trained. Here comes Orange. There's nothing in the box, Orange. He's like, where are the treats? I need the treats in the box. There are no treats in that box, Orange. Oh, come on. That's not very nice. I'm sorry, Orange. Oh, come on now. I'm adorable. Yeah, we know. They're all looking at me. What? You think you're gonna get something? I'm not giving you anything. No. These are gonna eat me. They're gonna eat me. Marzipan, what up? How you doing? Good to see you, buddy. Jacob, ¿qué onda? Yo no estoy muy cansado ahorita. Pero me duele la cabeza un poquito. Acabo de tomar algo. Tal vez me ayude. Yo creo que es tensión. All right, keep those questions in there. These cats. They're totally gonna eat me. They're looking hangry. I know. They're like, you give us the food. Give us the food or there's gonna be trouble, human. Let's go. Get in my belly. Orange is a chonker. Here's the funny thing, you guys. So Orange, which is that one right there, he is super fluffy. His fur is super fluffy. He's fat. I mean, don't get me wrong. His fur is like super fluffy. But this one right here, Squeaky, weighs more. He's got like a pound or two on Orange. He doesn't look quite as fluffy. His fur isn't as fluffy, so he doesn't look as big, but he weighs more. If you can't see them, they can't hurt you. Is that how that works? Are you sure that's how that works, dude? I don't know about that. How chonky are the cats from 1 to 10? They're probably like 7s. They're like solid 7s. They're definitely overweight, but they run around and do junk, you know. It's not like there are some cats that are so obese that they can, like, you know, they waddle. So my cats aren't that bad. They're all the same age. These two, Squeaky and Orange are the same age. They're from the same litter. All right, how about we start this? Ooh, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the live stream. Tonight we have quite the show. Actually, there's no show. It's really just me answering your questions. So throw those questions down there. My lovely moderators, I believe we have Dan and Tashio in the house tonight for sure. We'll be throwing your questions into a spreadsheet. So let's keep them busy copy pasting. It's beautiful. I want their fingers to bleed by the time tonight is over with. Tonight we are doing about an hour or so of Q&A here on YouTube, and then we're going to head over to my Twitch channel where we are going to create a D&D adventure together. We've been doing quite a few lower level adventures recently, so tonight we're going to create a level 17 adventure together. And I was thinking about this a little bit before the stream, and I kind of want to do something with, I have a hankering to do something with like maybe devils or demons or something. Because if we're doing level 17 in Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, there are some high level demons and devils we could use. We might even be able to use one of the like devil lords or something. They're like CR 25 or something. Level 17 might be able to do that, but that might be too much. I don't know. We'll get to that when we get to that in the second part of the stream. Right now it's just Q&A. So throw your questions down there. I'll be just pounding out questions as fast as they come in. Hey Dolphus, thank you sir for the $1 super chat. I appreciate that. Before we jump in, I do want to thank all of my awesome patrons, YouTube members, and Twitch subs for supporting the channel and all the free content that I make for the D&D community. In particular, I want to thank, let's go in reverse order. Yokai, Theta Tag, Tactical Tokens, Son of a Sofa Man, Sophia W, Rainier the Conqueror, Penguin Butt, Nathan, Mr. T, Meepy670, Lord Humongous, Kurt Y, Joseph H, Joe M, John Kenny, Iron Lord 79, Goliath Cleric, representing tonight, Float 71, Elrin, Elisa Goose, Drake H, DM Silver, Clammed Oyster, Candy Sora, Beoban, and Andy L. Super appreciate all the support, you guys. You're awesome. One of my moderators is going to drop a link down to my Patreon down below. Thank you, moderators, for dropping that beautiful, tempting link after I just plugged the crap. I don't know, whatever. If you want to support the channel and what we're doing around here, then Patreon is the best way to do that. If you're interested, if not, don't worry. It's not a big deal. My cats are not going hungry. Not now, at least. Also, I want to let you folks know that I have a giveaway going on. We are drawing the winners of my giveaway tonight. You can win some of these beautiful tactical tokens. These are my favorite miniature alternative, super high quality. You can see that they have color picture on one side, black and white on the other. You flip them over when something dies. There are also blank tokens that you can use dry erase or wet erase markers on to draw your own pictures and conditions and crap like that. So hit that link there. It's free to enter. There's no costs or any of that kind of bull crap. You just put your name and junk in there. And then tonight at the end of the streams, I will be drawing a winner for these bad boys. So that's how that works. And I think I've plugged enough crap, so we should probably get into the questions before you guys hunt me down. Naomi says $5. Thank you, sir, for the $5 for the overworked mods. Love the content too. Thanks for doing this. Hey, you're very welcome, dude. All right, Dan and Tashio, you guys get to fight to death over the $5. Either you guys, we're gonna get you guys together. This is gonna be hard because Tashio is like halfway across the world from you, Dan. But we're gonna get you guys together. We're gonna throw a broken pool stick in the middle, and you guys can fight to death over that $5. Or you can each get $250. I'd rather do the fight to death. Honestly, I think that would be far more entertaining, and we gotta put it on live stream too. We gotta put it on the live stream. All right, Naomi, thank you for kicking that off. That sounds like it's good. Oh yes, the secret word is howdy. Sorry, for the giveaway, the secret word is howdy. There's a secret word because these giveaways are only open to people in my live streams. When I do these giveaways, they're only for people in the live streams. It's kind of like, you know, I don't know, incentivize you to come, give you a reward for coming. I don't know, whatever you want to. I don't care how you want to characterize it. But yeah, it's only open to people in live streams. So, all right. Iron Lord, what up, dude? Glad you liked the stream, man. Coach Abel Spoon, your first DM Lair stream. Awesome, dude. You should join us on, so I stream on Twitch as well. Link, moderators, thank you for dropping a wonderful link to my Twitch channel below. I also stream over on Twitch Mondays and Wednesdays, and actually the second part of today's stream will be on Twitch as well. So I will miss tons of questions because there are gonna be way more questions than I can answer, but you can always come to Twitch and ask questions as well, and I answer questions. I'm like an answer machine. Half of my answers are bad, the other half are stupid. Some of them are useful. Chase Operman says, I'm writing a campaign and thought of an idea for a time realm, my own creation, not based on anything. It's desolate, the town is run down. What creatures would you require to populate? All right, so I'm not gonna create it for you. Dude, this is a work of your imagination. This is your creation. I am not going to cheat you of the opportunity to put in the work yourself and make it your own. I would recommend you pick up the Monster Manual, Volo's Guide to Monsters, and Mordecai's Tome of Foes, and populate it with your own creatures and the own things that the things that you think should be there and that you think will be fun and interesting. Yeah, I generally beg off any sort of creation work where it's like, how do I do this thing? I will give you the process, the way I would go about doing it, but I don't do it for you. So yeah, sorry. That's how I would do that, though. That's exactly how I would do that. I'm playing Warlock. Should I cast Eldritch Blast or Fairy Fire on my next turn? Eldritch Blast, dude. Of course. That's the only thing Warlocks do, man. Eldritch Blast. Ketchup says, Luke, can I come with an idea to the general use of the adventure? Everybody is going to contribute ideas. And then over the course of that idea contribution, we pick one and we roll with it. There's no guarantee that your idea is going to get used. Straight up truth, dude. Like, lots of people are going to be throwing ideas out and we'll pick one of them. Tips for creating creatures that are not in Monster Manual, Volos, etc. Prefer your question with questioning crap, otherwise I might miss it. Yes. So the way that I create homebrew creatures is I think of something. I think of some idea of what I want to do. That's the first part. You come up with an idea, a concept. The next thing that I do, once I have a concept for what I want to do, the next thing I do is I think, hey, what existing creatures are very close to this? Like, let's pretend that I want to create a golem made out of cauldrons. So I say, okay, a cauldron golem. It has a cauldron for its midsection, 2 cauldrons for arms and legs, or 4 cauldrons total. And the cauldron can spew some sort of like concoction out of it that has some sort of effect. All right, that's my idea for a homebrew creature. Now, what existing creatures do something like that? There are a bunch of golems. And let's see, Iron Golem is very close, and Iron Golem, in fact, also spews out poisonous gas. So then what I'm going to do to create the stat block for my Cauldron Golem, I'm going to go over to Iron Golem or another type of Golem or some other creature that's very close to that. And then I'm going to tweak that stat block just a little bit here and there to customize the stat block. And I'm also going to look for a stat block for an existing creature that has a challenge rating similar to what I want to do for my Cauldron Golem. So an Iron Golem is a pretty high challenge rating. That might not work for me. I might want to go with a Clay Golem or a Flesh Golem or something. I take the stat block and then I tweak some stuff. Until it fits my homebrew creature. And that's the process. I do not create I don't start with 0 for the stat blocks and then create them from the ground up. That is very frustrating. The rules kind of suck and they're not that good. Usually I just start with an existing stat block, tweak it. So that's my process for doing that. Jasper Pearl, thank you for the $5. I appreciate that. Dwergers are my favorite dwarf. I joined one. Love Scorn Shell Shield. Cool, man. Thanks. Is Scorn Shell Shield the one you made, or is that from something else? What is your favorite monster to screw your players over with? I don't screw my players over. My intention is never to screw my players over, ever, ever, ever. So I have nothing. I got nothing for you because I don't do that. If it feels like I did, it wasn't intentional. That's a blank message right there. Eric from Phoenix says, I've only played D&D since COVID and took over DMing for my family. My 14-year-old daughter wants to play an Eric Hakra in her next campaign. Should I let her? Guess flying PC is bad. Yeah, generally speaking, yeah, I don't really like. There's a reason that Adventurers League doesn't allow races that give flying at level 1. There's a reason they don't. Their complications and problems are presented. However, I will say this, dude. There are different types of games that I run. Some games are a little bit more serious, you could say. We still laugh and have fun, but they're more serious D&D games. Other games are more just like, whatever, we're here to have fun. I feel like running a game for my family, that would be probably more in the tier of, we're here to have fun, who cares? You're always there to have fun, but there's different levels of seriousness for running a game. When I run a game for my Ancient Dragon campaign that pay me to play D&D, or for my Curse of Strahd, those are more serious tones to those games. And so I'm a little bit more like, flying is a problem, right? But if I'm talking about something like my Wonder Panda campaign or my Youngling group, these guys are like 15 years old or so, I'm going to be a little bit more lenient and be like, it's not that big of a deal. I'm not going to get too worried about the fact that one of the characters has flying and can easily help the party bypass lots of obstacles that might otherwise be problematic. I'll be a little bit looser about that with that sort of group. So I kind of feel like if you're running a group for your family, especially for your daughter who's 14 years old, I wouldn't see a problem with giving them flying. It's not that big of a deal. Veteran players are going to be able to use flying to get by a lot of things, like bypass and different stuff. But for a family group, nah, I wouldn't really care about it. That's just my style, though, and there are different types of games that I run, Jordan says, how can I help my players get better at combat tactics without giving them homework? The primary way that I go about this, dude, is I use combat tactics against my players. And they see that, oh, holy crap, his wizard doesn't just stand out in the open like a big target. Shoot me! I'm a wizard! Shoot me! No, the wizard ducks behind full cover so they can't be targeted. They duck behind a corner. They cast their spell, all right, hold it in concentration, and then come around the corner so they can't be counterspelled or stuff like that. So I use the tactics. My big ogre, I have 2 ogres. The first ogre is going to push you down to the ground. The second ogre is going to stomp his foot on your chest, grappling you, holding you down. In subsequent rounds, both ogres get advantage on their attacks against you. And good luck getting out of their grapple because ogres are strong. So I use the tactics against my players. My expectation is that they catch on, that they observe what I'm doing and are like, oh, okay. And then they do the same thing, and vice versa. Many of the nasty tactics I use against my players, I learned from them. So Wall of Force was one of the things where my players showed me how powerful Wall of Force can be as a crowd control thing. Cut off half of the enemies, let them sit there and do nothing, kill the other half with ease, drop the Wall of Force, and clean up. So my players showed me that, so now, guess what? Bad guys do that from time to time too. So that's my recommendation, sir. Any tips for building towns and cities? My biggest recommendation for building towns and cities is to look at official published modules and see how they do it, and study what they do, and then do it on your own. That's the easiest, quickest way I can tell you to do it. I do not build a whole bunch of towns and cities. I am building a town for my Kickstarter, Into the Fae. Link below. Thank you, moderators. But that's it. It's not something that I do with regularity. And when I do it, it's just, so there was some research involved. I wanted to know, for instance, some of these buildings and stuff, so there's a sawmill. Okay, what does the interior of a sawmill look like? And, where should it be situated and stuff like that? There is a lumber camp. Okay, when's the height of lumber season? It turns out that lumber season, when a lot of lumbering happens, is the winter, because the snow and ice makes it easier to move logs, and logs are usually pulled by horses and sled downhill, to a river, and then they're floated down to processing like a sawmill and stuff like that. So when you're building out a town and city, you want to do a Google search. What sorts of buildings and things, what sort of services are needed in a medieval town? And you'll find out, that you need different types of services, cobblers and carpenters and blacksmiths and stuff like that, and farmer, blah, 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 whatever. So part of it is doing research and finding out, what should be in a town, what it should look like, and then the other half is creativity, creating interesting shopkeepers, like Pit and Pop, that runs the general store, or creating a rivalry between 2 different shopkeepers, like for instance, the half-orc blacksmith and the elven weapon master. He's a weaponsmith master weaponsmith. They have a rivalry going on, and if somebody goes to the elven master weaponsmith and asks for something like nails or horseshoes, The elven weaponsmith will tell them, "Oh, we don't sell those in this town. You're gonna have to go to the other town over." Because of the rivalry, he refuses to tell people to go talk to the half orc and stuff like that. So build these sorts of things into your town so that your players can come across these things, and it builds an interesting dynamic in there. Some personalities there, some interesting stuff for them to discover, you know. And then when they ask for nails and the weaponsmith is like, "Oh, sorry, we don't sell nails in this town," they're gonna be like, "What do you mean you don't sell nails? Are you kidding me? Like, there are houses all over the place. You got to have nails." "Nah, we don't sell any nails." You know, so little things like that, you know, you can call them Easter eggs if you want, but it's adding personality to things so that you don't have just a dry, boring town, you know, with like, "I'm a shopkeeper, what do you want to buy?" But there's some personality to it, you know. So those are some little touches, little details, I think, that will make your town more interesting when your players interact with the NPCs and stuff there. So those are all, by the way, examples from my Kickstarter, because I've been working on that stuff recently. Axel says, "What do you value most when considering running a new module?" Exciting setting, theme, plot, that fresh feeling, well-structured, balanced encounters, and new stuff. Balanced encounters, you can forget about balanced encounters. Wizards no longer knows how to make balanced encounters in modules, so just don't even consider that. Rime of the Frost Maiden is a classic example. I have a video coming out this coming Tuesday, my review of Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frost Maiden. Don't miss it. Half of the video is ranting about horse crap that should have been fixed before publishing. Anyway, the most important thing that I look for running a new module is, am I inspired by it? Does it inspire me? Does it sound interesting to me? Am I excited to run it? That is hands down the most important thing for me. A lot of these other things, the theme and the plot are part of what's going to inspire me, to be honest with you. If it's well structured, if it's not usable and it's a big pain in the butt, that's something, you know, but you have to, it's hard to know that in advance before you dig into it, you know. New stuff, monsters, items, etc. Maybe, but that's not a super consideration. It might be, it depends. Mostly I just want to feel inspired, like I'm excited to do it. Like, for all of my complaints about Icewind Dale, it still sounds super exciting to me, and I think it would be fun to run. Even though I think it's kind of messed up and there are problems with it, it still sounds like a really fun module to run. And so I'm probably someday, you know, 20 years from now, run it for some groups and stuff. It sounds like fun to me and I would enjoy doing it. I just know that there are severe problems with it and I'd have to do a lot of rework to it, which kind of tampers the excitement a little bit, but you know, hey, it is what it is. Andrew Block says, have a DM who's having a problem confronting a player about his spotlight hogging. So the DM is having a problem confronting the player. A character who tries to take over the game and do everything. How can I help him? So this is one of the unfortunate things that happens in the game, in that it's unfortunate to an extent. It can be either good or bad, but what happens is the dungeon master or the game master, depending on your game, is seen as the person who must handle all problems. If there's a problem player, the dungeon master is the one that must take care of it, must handle it. Now, a lot of times the dungeon master is seen as a leader of sorts of the gaming group. That's fair. But a lot of times we feel like the players can't do any of this, right? The players can't step in. The players have no right. And I think that as a dungeon master, I am accustomed to taking care of business. I will definitely talk to players. I will make sure, problem player, you're gone. I have no problem playing that role, but even though I'm 100% confident in that, and I will not take any crap and I'll just get things done for the benefit of my other players who aren't causing problems, for instance. And most of the time it's talking to players. It's not just kicking them out, to be clear. Even though I'm comfortable doing that, I love it when my players themselves speak up against another problematic behavior from maybe another player or something. I love it when that happens. I had that happen. This actually happened recently. I'm drawing a blank on exactly what it was, but I recently had, it was one of my gaming groups within the last month or so. One of the players was doing something that was mildly problematic or something, and one of the other players called him out on it and was like, dude, I don't like it when you do this. You need to stop doing this. And I love that. I love that because I didn't have to do it. You know, so I would love it when there's this sort of shared accountability in the gaming group of everybody, you know, everybody wanting the best for the group. And when somebody is causing a little bit of a problem here, the players might be like, hey, dude, now you can talk to him later. You don't have to call him out in the middle of the gaming session, but you can talk to him later, or sometimes it's appropriate to call him out in the middle of the game. You know, sometimes it's totally appropriate. That's not a problem necessarily. You know, you do it in the proper way, you know. You don't be a jerkwad about it. So I would love that crap. So how do you help your dungeon master? Dude, instead of trying, I would say the best way you can help your dungeon master is just for you to talk to that player. Just be like, it could be in the middle of the game when the player is spotlight hogging, and you could just be like, hey, John, you know, just letting you know, there are 4 other people at this table and you've been spotlight hogging for the last 20 minutes. The rest of us want to play this game. And you do this, it seems like you do this a lot. So like, dude, can you let us play the game, man? Now that might not have been as diplomatic as you might actually say it. I probably am loud and jerkish enough to just call it as it is and just say something like that. And I'd probably couch it within some smiles and stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah, there's nothing wrong with like talking directly to the other player. It help your DM out a lot. Lewis, or is it? Yeah, Lewis Perez. Hey, what up, dude? Thank you, sir, for the $5. Appreciate that. New DM watched your videos and they helped a lot. Thank you. You are very welcome, dude. Appreciate the $5 and happy to help. Make sure your questions all got question before them. And they're not going to get caught. Breno Sobral says, hey, Luke, I'm checking on the 5-room dungeon philosophy. I have heard of that. If you're probably about to ask me a specific question about that philosophy, and then I'm going to be like, I don't know what it is. What do you think about an adventure campaign where each dungeon means one of these rooms? Squeaky, quit biting my leg. Jeez, he's down here chewing on my calf. Little punk. I knew you were gonna do that. I'm gonna say sure. I don't think there's a wrong answer. There's not necessarily a wrong answer to how you go about creating a dungeon, okay? There's definitely probably bad ways to do it. You probably could stumble on a bad way to do it. Like, for instance, I would say that a horrible way to create a dungeon is a dungeon where every single room contains a group of monsters that immediately attacks you or immediately attacks the adventurers. That is the world's stupidest, most horrible, worst absolute dungeon in the whole worst world history stuff. So there's definitely bad ways to make dungeons. But I would say, dude, give it a spin. I don't know the 5-year-old dungeon philosophy crap. I've heard of. I think I actually have. There's a guard, and then there's some sort of social interaction. There's a red herring. Then there's a boss, and then there is something else. There's something else in there. So I think I actually am familiar with that, but I can't remember what they all are. To me, that sounds like a very short dungeon. But I have a penchant for creating very long dungeons too. So, but I would try it out, dude. Try it out at your game table, see how it goes. If everybody has fun and it works really well, you enjoy doing it, your players enjoy doing it, then you found a winner for your group, at least for the time being. Unless folks get tired of that same, because eventually when you do the exact same thing every time and there's a pattern to it, folks might start to catch on to that and might not be as fun and interesting as it was before, you know? Like, for instance, it's the cliche of, you know, oh, it's the NPC that backstabbed us. Oh, and now every NPC backstabs you, and then it just becomes stupid, you know. So it's like that. You can't do it too much necessarily, but I don't know. Who knows? Maybe that sort of thing, that design principle, you know, is different, and it'll work just fine. Santiago, what up? I would like to get my holy advice. I'm gonna start a new campaign that I've designed for months and really wanted your advice on exploration. I feel like it's my weakest point. Would you just want some general advice on exploration? Exploration has nothing to do with you as the dungeon master. Exploration is what your players do when they're in a dungeon or a building or a castle or someplace. It's when they're poking around in the rooms, when they're looking inside chests, when they're looking inside dressers and cabinets, and they're looking for secret doors. That's exploration. That happens during the entire game. And the biggest piece of advice I can give you about when your players engage in exploration is have there be cool stuff for them to find. That if they don't explore, poke around and look under things and check for false bottoms, that they won't find. If they don't do those things, if they don't explore, they miss out and they don't get those things. Because if they're exploring and doing all of those things and you're just like, ah, there's nothing special there, ah, nothing special there, ah, nothing special there, ah, nothing special there, eventually they're going to stop poking around. Eventually they're going to stop exploring. Exploring is not traveling from one town to another. Exploring is not going into a forest and walking through a forest, right? Exploration is a pillar of D&D that happens at all places during the game. So when they're doing that, you know, you have things, not all the time, but every so often they're rewarded by finding something that was hidden. And then exploration becomes something more interesting for the players. Now, I don't like exploration as a player. I do have many players that do. I have one player that loves exploration and loves poking around. And he's told me before that he probably wouldn't even be able to play a game that didn't involve a lot of exploration and stuff. But I don't feel that exploration is something necessarily that a DM guides too much. It's something your players engage in. What the DM can do is put fun stuff there for the players to find. How do you handle summoner type players who always want to summon the max number of creatures for combat? Somebody's sending me text. You want to see how I handle summoner creatures? Let me show you I'm going to show you my house rules for summons. I'm going to bring it up. I have it on Reddit. Posted on Reddit. I never go on Reddit except to look at my house rules for summons. I hate Reddit. With a passion. With a passion. The world's cauldron of toxicity and hatred all brewing together. Let's see. Where is this? House rules you should be aware of. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So these are my house rules for summons. I don't have a lot of house rules. So basically, conjuring, summoning spells or abilities. So the first thing is all summoned creatures except familiars are under the control of the dungeon master. Okay, so if you summon something, I am role playing it. For instance, if you conjure woodland beings to summon 2 pixies, I will roleplay them as mischievous tricksters who are averse to violence, because that's what pixies are. They will absolutely not be turning PCs into T-Rexes that will tear enemies limb from limb, because that is not roleplaying a pixie properly, in my opinion. So that's the first thing. That's the very first thing. And that helps you get around quite a few problematic situations with summons. The second one, you'll notice that most of my house rules have to do with summons, because summons presents a problem. Yeah, I am getting low on coffee. House rule number 2. Summons are limited to 2. Action economy. Very, very huge thing in Dungeons & Dragons. Not only that, but some players are incapable of controlling multiple summons in a timely fashion. Completely incapable. Actually, since the dungeon master is controlling them, this actually helps the dungeon master not to have to control a bajillion creatures. Any one player is only allowed to have 2 summons under his control at a time, not including a familiar. Blah 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 blah. So yeah, you get 2 summons. So basically, if you have conjure woodland beings, you summon the higher CR, like the CR 1/2 or 1s or 2s or whatever. So you just summon the higher ones. if you want to. Animate objects has a special rule that kind of doesn't, the same rule doesn't apply to it. It's a special exception. But that's it. That's pretty much it. It's nothing. I'll drop a link to this just in case you want to look at this. That's pretty much how I do it. Is it a nerf? Does it decrease the power of summons? You better believe it does, because summons are very, very powerful and broken in many situations. But you can always summon fewer of them at a higher CR per all of the spells. So if you want to see one of the most broken examples of summons is I think it's Conjure Woodland Beings. There's one, maybe it's summoning. There's one summoning spell where you can summon flying snakes. And flying snakes, you can summon 8 flying snakes. I forget which summon spell it is. I'm gonna show you the flying snake stat block on D&D Beyond. It is insane. Not only does it flying, but it is a very, very powerful creature. Let me show you this bad boy. Okay, so flying snake. It has it is a CR 1/8. 1/8. That's as low as they go, by the way. And it has +6 to its attack bonus. +6. That's crazy high for such a low CR. And it does 7 poison damage. Okay, it's a lot. It's a lot of damage and a high attack bonus. And it flies, you guys. Sure, it only got 5 hit points. Okay, but that's very, very powerful. And many of these summoning spells last for 1 hour. You know, it's got blind sight too. Look at that. It's even got blind sight. That's pretty good. Yeah. So that's an example. The common example, of course, is pixies. Then they turn characters into T-Rexes. That's the common example of being super overpowered. But the flying snake is pretty legit too. It's very legit. So yeah, summons are a particular problem in the game. I'm just kidding. It's almost gone. Emil, thank you, sir, for becoming a member, channel member. I appreciate that. I do want to say, for all the folks who are channel members, you do get a bunch of different perks and benefits per the level of channel member you became. So make sure you hook up your Discord to YouTube. There's a way to hook those two up so that you automatically get all of your channel benefits. If you're not sure how to do that, there is, I have a pinned message on my Discord that helps explain the instructions for that. So link to the Discord is right there. Thank you. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate that. And you can always send a message to Penguin Butt as well if you're not sure how to hook stuff up. She will help you get stuff hooked up. Penguin Butt. She's not here tonight, but she's the helper dude. Helper dudette. Goliath Cleric, thank you, sir, for also becoming a member. I appreciate that, buddy. Same thing I just said applies. What do you think about Icewind Dale, buy or skip? I have a video. I already talked a little bit about that. I have a video coming out on Tuesdays too. You can take a look at it. My ultimate recommendation is I think it's cool, but it has serious problems that are going to require. If you are a new dungeon master, Icewind Dale is not the module for you. Period. End of story. New dungeon masters, no. At least be a veteran. At least have some years under your belt so that you can rework it as needed. If you think you can pick up Icewind Dale and just run it as is for your group, nope, your characters are going to die a lot, and you're going to be very frustrated with the leveling mechanic. So just forewarning for new dungeon masters. Jasper's Pearl. Is 20 Constitution plus 5 modifier too much for level 1? Yes, absolutely. It's way too much. If you're using point buy, you should be using a 27 point buy, and usually when you use point buy, it limits you to 15 as a maximum starting. Now, if you get a racial bonus of +2, you can get up to like a 17 or something. But that's way too much for level 1. Yeah, that's not, according to the rules, that's, you shouldn't be able to do that. We got some fun going on down here. Squeaky's like, come here, Squirty Pie. Let's have some fun. Squirty Pie is gonna get her butt kicked. Squirty Pie has never won a fight with Squeaky. Never. Squeaky is the one with the white all over him, by the way, if you're not familiar. Squirty Pie always loses. Always. Here we go. Now they're licking each other. It's like, oh, we love you. We love each other. Look it. We love each other. No, now Squirty Pie is gonna lick a little bit. She'll go for the neck eventually. Wait till she goes for his neck. There we go. A little bit of biting there. Oh, there we go. There we go. Squeaky. Squeaky weighs about twice as much as Squirty Pie. Well, not quite twice as much. Squirty Pie probably weighs about 10 pounds. Squeaky weighs about 16. So he is gonna win. He's so gonna win. Do you have any fun story from playing and running an evil campaign? Not really. I've never really done an evil campaign. Anthony, and by the way, I can't really tell stories just off the cuff unless you give me context. You know, like I need some specific context or prompt to tell a story from a game. Like sometimes I'll have folks who are like, just tell us a fun D&D story, and I'm just like, really? That I can't really just do that. Oh, Munchgum. Hey Munchgum, thank you sir for the $5. I appreciate that. Not seeing a lot of likes below. Can we get the stream over 100 likes? All right, thanks, buddy. Everybody, like, if you're enjoying the cat fight, give a thumbs up to the stream. Wait, isn't this illegal? What, cat fighting? No, we're not taking bets. As long as you're not betting on who's gonna win, it's fine. They're just playing. They're brother and sister. They do this multiple times a day. Multiple times a day they do this. She got him. Oh, she got him. Squeaky was distracted. I think I distracted Squeaky. He looked at me for a brief second. He got distracted and then she went in for the kill. She's actually winning. I can't believe this. Squirty Pie never wins. She's currently, Squirty Pie looks like she's winning. Wow, this is crazy. This never happens. You can't take bets. There's no betting. Then it becomes illegal, I think. And then somebody will come break up the cat fighting. Anthony Alfred says, Alred says, oh, who's this? Little guy. Little guy. Little guy comes on. What's up, dude? Little guy. I had my first session yesterday, but we stopped in the middle of a dungeon with the only enemies are on the other side. Should I let them take a short rest? What's up, little guy? Anthony, most dungeons or most adventures are designed such that the players take about 2 short rests during the dungeon. So if your players have gotten through like a bunch of the dungeon and there's still some left, then yeah, they generally speaking 2 short rests are normal. 2 short rests are normal for a normal dungeon, your standard dungeon. It's the long rests that become problematic for a variety of reasons. Got any tips for creating sports similar to real world sports in a game? No, not really. I would just think about it, try to use my creativity and imagination and come up with a sport or something, I guess. And then you want to have the players play in a sports match? Oh, then you're talking about rules, mechanics and stuff? No, dude, I got nothing for you. I really don't do stuff like that in my games. We fight stuff. We fight and kill stuff, or we talk with things. We don't really do that stuff. Sorry. What's the most important thing or things on your DM screen? I don't use anything on my DM screen. It is all of the reference material on it and stuff. Oh, that's the wrong one. Where's the cat cam? The Squirty Pie. That's Squirty Pie. She's just lying there. The only thing that I actually use on my Dungeon Master's screen is I have a little piece of paper with some random names on it that I will reference when I need a random NPC name. That's the only thing I use on my DM screen. Everything else, it has 5th edition rules and reference material. I just never use it. Most of the time I don't. When I actually need to reference the rules, I just open the book up. And that doesn't happen a whole lot. There's a very small set of rules that actually get used in the game that need referencing. Do you have an idea of how a Moon Circle Druid would commit eco-terrorist acts flavored to fit the subclass? No, I'd have to think about that. I'd have to use my brain a little bit. I got nothing offhand though. I turned 5e into a battle royale. As for things sounding fun or interesting, how's that? Battle royale? I think a battle royale as like, hello, we have played the entire campaign. You are high level. We are done with the campaign. Now, just for kicks, let's just have a battle royale with all the players and see who wins. That would be a fun ending, you know, and a bonus ending to a campaign. As far as just turning the entire game into a battle royale permanently, no, not fun. Not fun for me. The primary defining characteristic of Dungeons and Dragons, in my opinion, is that unlike every other game, you're not fighting against each other. Everybody's on the same side. The dungeon master, Squeaky, you keep biting me, oh punk. Run him out of here. He keeps nipping at me. Like, the great thing about the players in the group is that they're not against each other. They're working with each other. So like that's one of the beautiful things about tabletop role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons. All the players, instead of like Monopoly where you're all fighting against each other, or Risk or Axis and Allies, the beautiful thing about role-playing games is you're cooperating together to overcome the obstacle. And everybody at the table likes each other and has fun, and it's cooperative, and that's the beautiful thing about it. I don't want to take that away. Like, that would be the last thing I would want to do. In fact, I do not allow player versus player things in my games, such as stealing or attacking each other, for the express reason. Well, there are different reasons, but part of the reason is, like, this is a cooperative group game, and that's how I want to play this game. If I want us to fight each other, if I wanted to play a game where everybody has a character that fights each other, then I would find a role-playing game or some sort of game that was made explicitly for that purpose. Because there are probably some out there that exist that are made for like that and will probably work better than D&D, because D&D, your classes are not created the same. Some of them are vastly overpowered than others. Look at the Paladin. Higher levels, Druid. Or even lower levels, Druid is very powerful. So like, not all classes are created the same, so that's not a fair battle royale, you know? Like, there are probably games you could get that are far more balanced, like maybe even 4th edition, where they pretty much homogenized all of the classes and stuff. That might be more balanced to do that sort of thing. But my thoughts on that. But that's just me, my definition of what I want from the game and how I run my game. Not to say you can't do it. That's just my opinion. I gotta get more coffee. I've been out of coffee here. Has anybody reminded me to get coffee? Yep, Nixit. I see Nixit was. Fred, we told Luke it's going empty. He noticed. He even cried. Still not refilled. I know I need to get more coffee, man. I'm doing it right now. It's hot. Imagine that. I'm gonna sue myself for the coffee being too hot. I think it just scalded my roof of my mouth. By the way, folks, I do have a giveaway going on. You can win some of these tactical tokens, miniature alternatives. Very cool stuff. Link. Thank you, moderator, for dropping a link down there. The secret word is howdy, as in, hello, I'm from Texas and I tipped my hat at you. Howdy. Spell it right. Gotta spell it right. There we go. Dan got it. Thanks, guys. I'm just picking on you, Tashio. Yeah, so free to enter. You know, we're going to draw the winner to this tonight at the end of the live stream. So yeah, check that crap out. And more questions. I've been playing D&D for 2 years now. Besides reading more about lore and monsters, what would you recommend before DMing? Is it desirable to play every class at least once? No. Just start. Just start, dude. There is no requirement. You don't even got to play the game. Just start. Like, just do it. Just jump in and do it and be a dungeon master. Are there things you can do that will help you? Sure, but I feel like that's like, you know, that's like, if you make a list of all these different things you should do before you become a dungeon master, the likelihood of you ever being a dungeon master is like 0. And you're never going to do it because you're never good enough. You're never prepared enough. Oh, I got to do this. I got to learn this. I got to do this. Nah, dude, just do it. Just jump in and do it. Boom, get started. You will learn what you need to know as a dungeon master by doing it. You know, I would just start. There are many dungeon masters that have never even played the game and they become dungeon masters. I had never played the game before when I became a dungeon master back in high school. I just found the game and I was like, this is cool. We're going to play this game. And I guess I'm going to be the dungeon master because someone's got to do it. And I was a dungeon master for years and years and years before I ever once played the game as a player. And nowadays I don't even like being a player. It's boring to me. I sit around waiting for other people to do stuff. And I'm just like, I want to do it. A problem player in one of my sessions is the DM's brother. Oh, that sucks. And he hates playing with him, but can't find a way out. Any thoughts? Yeah, you kick him out. Like, what do you want, man? Like, that's what you do. You just gotta, you're gonna just be like, dude, you're out, goodbye. I mean, it's the DM's brother. So is there gonna be some stress to that relationship? Sure. It's his brother, dude. He'll get pissed for a while, he'll get over it, you know? But the way out is like, dude, like, I don't even know the details, man. He hates playing with him, but can't find a way out. I mean, I would try talking it out first and trying to see if the brother who's causing the problems and stuff will like change his ways. The first step is always to try to see if the person who's causing problems will stop and be a better person. That's obviously the first thing. It's a conversation, right? But like, if that's not happening, you know, and he's just not working, then you got to get him out of the group, dude, because everybody's going to be miserable. Well, at least one person's going to be miserable. I don't know. This is why I love playing with strangers. Like, if I end up with a player who's causing a problem, you know, I mean, you become friends with them after a while, so you know, you become friends and crap. But like, if I bring on a new player and a few sessions in, it becomes obvious that player is a big problem, bye, you're gone. Sorry, it's not gonna work out. This isn't the group for you. There's no friendship to be broken. There's no relationship to be broken or strained or anything. It's just, you know, bye. So like, I love bringing in strangers and playing games with strangers because I don't have to worry about these complex social situations nearly as much. It's a huge relief not to have to worry about that. You know, even more complicated than that is if you have like a husband and wife scenario where one of them is the problem, and then it's just like, oh, we're screwed. Or totally, there's nothing you can do about that, you know? So. Good flesh golem names? I don't know. Use a random generator online. How excited are you about the success of Into the Fake Kickstarter? I'll be excited when the work's over. That's not the right answer. Like, the right answer is for me to be like, oh, I'm super excited. I mean, it's cool, but it's like, dude, it's a lot of work. It's, you know what I mean? So when you are steeped in work from the moment you get up in the morning to the moment you go to bed, and there's always more work to be done, it's like, it's just hard to be excited about stuff, man. I'm trying to be more excited about my D&D games. If I can be more excited about my D&D games that I play and I'm supposed to be having fun in, instead of just like, all right, gotta run a game tonight. All right, my job tonight is to run a fun game. Or, you know, so I baby steps first. First, I want to be excited about the things in life that are fun, like Dungeons and Dragons, you know. And then I'll work on getting excited about things that are just work. I feel like that's a horrible answer, but it's kind of how I feel, and I'm all about just telling you straight up. So that's what you get. Husband and wife playing D&D. Holy crap, we're screwed. Not always. I have had a couple in a game once that had no problems whatsoever being in the game. And then I've been in other games where the wife and the husband are constantly going at it, and especially when the husband's like the dungeon master and stuff, and it's been a problem. I was I had a game once where there was a player who brought his wife to play once, and it was a constant issue. There's a side conversation going on the whole time, and I was like, this is never gonna work. This is never gonna work. She did not get invited to come back and play. So yeah, it can go well or it can go very poorly, and if it goes very poorly, it goes poorly. Hey Luke, how are you? My question is, my DM keeps giving us crap items. Always roll them if too good. Don't know what that means. Rerolls, how do we deal with that? The only thing you can do is talk to your dungeon master, dude. You just gotta tell your dungeon master, hey, we are level 7 and we don't have any magic items and we're getting kind of we feel like we're getting shafted. Is there any way we can get better stuff? You have an honest discussion with them. My players recently did this with me. I was not giving, in all honesty, I was kind of shortchanging one of my groups on magic items and stuff. I was giving them magic items, but they weren't very powerful. They were very, very, very weak. And they're like level 7 or 8 now. And they were like, I did like an anonymous survey thing, and at least 3 of them were like, the game is great, but I feel like we're not getting a lot of magic items. And then I went through and looked at the magic items I had given them, and I was like, and I looked at the level that they are. We have a cat in the box, by the way. And I was like, yeah, they're right. I am giving them the shaft. Oh, he jumps out. I am giving them the shaft. And so now I have begun putting more stuff in their adventures for them to get. So yeah, just talk with them and hope they see the light. Ooh, it's 7 o'clock. Oh, that hour went by so fast. You guys, we got to go create our adventure now. We have a level 17 adventure to create, and we need to give ourselves 3 hours to create it to make sure we have time to get it done. So yeah. Oh, all right. So didn't get to all the questions. I knew that was going to happen. Sorry. I do stream over on Twitch Mondays, Wednesdays, also, that you can drop by and ask your questions, and I'll try to do my best job answering your questions and stuff like that. But right now we do need to head over to my Twitch channel to create our level 17 adventure, and the adventure will be published out there for everybody to use for free in their games as well. There will be links all over the place to where you can get that adventure. It's usually out by tomorrow morning or so. Luis, thank you for the $10 super chat. I'm gonna hit this super quick before we bust out of here. My first game was for a friend of mine as a gift to him because he was moving and I homebrewed. It went well, but now my other friends want to play more, but I don't know if I should keep homebrewing. Yes. If you enjoy homebrewing and they had fun doing it, then there's no reason not to. Absolutely. I homebrewed my adventures for like the first... I only started running modules a few years ago. Previous to that, all I did was homebrew, and I loved it. I still love homebrew. I still probably prefer... I go through phases, but right now I probably prefer homebrew over running modules. You know, so yeah, keep on doing it, dude. If you enjoy it and your players are going to enjoy it, and they did enjoy it, then keep doing it. Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we got for today. We are going to go over to my Twitch channel. There's a beautiful link down below. Thank you, moderators, for dropping a link to the Twitch. And it usually takes... I got to switch the stream over to Twitch, and then I'll be up and running on Twitch in about 5 minutes or so. So hope to see you folks over there. And we're going to create a level 17 adventure together. So yeah, that. I'm leaving now. Goodbye.